For you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive, and I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, you know, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer.
I know women aren't supposed to say their ages, but let me just say this. I am 39 years old. So if you're in your 20s, you're not for me. And I love me a chocolate man. So if you're the color of my skin, sorry. I just don't want to date you either. Or even talk to you really, because I think I'll be your friend. But I'm looking for a man that I want now. And I'm almost 40, so I want what I want. I want what I want. So, just a PSA. Have a great day.
The way that I have changed since this man has entered my life, I'll never be the same. And it is not for the reasons you're thinking, you nasty. Even though that's not a conversation for today. I'm just saying, like, I have become like the boldest, most confident version of me. I dress different. I talk different. I believe in myself in a different way. I'm like way more into my feminine energy. And I did not know that that was a theme of having a black boyfriend until I stumbled on all of these videos on TikTok talking about the black boyfriend effect. And I need to know, like, what is this psychological phenomenon? And what is it about black men that is just different? And I'm not just saying this because I'm with a black guy, but since I have been exposed to black culture more and more, I just genuinely believe that they actually like women. It's like they have a different appreciation for femininity. I don't know, just thoughts. But what about this black boyfriend effect?
Really? That's insane. So, y'all staying together? Mm-hmm. Okay, and y'all been together for how long? You said since?
Oh, yeah. Year now.
Oh, year?
Yeah, we got twins on the way right now.
Oh, you got twins on the way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, congratulations, man.
Thank
Y'all doing y'all thing. So y'all finna get married or what?
Yeah, we get married in August.
Oh, okay. So what do your family think about being with him? Are they being racist against him?
Yeah, they don't like colored people at all. Yeah, they don't like colored people at all.
They don't?
No.
What you think about that?
I think
You stay your distance?
Yeah.
Man, that's an interesting situation right there, bro.
And right now, white people are really frightened. If you don't understand the destruction of Planned Parenthood offices, and you don't understand the wall that we're going to build on the southern border of the United States, you haven't read the book, The Birth Dearth by Ben Wattenberg. Ben Wattenberg was a brilliant Jewish man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute, and he wrote a book, the first paragraph of which says, "The main problem confronting the United States today is there aren't enough white babies being born in this country." He was an advisor to presidents of the United States. He wrote the book in 1987. He says if we don't change this and change it rapidly, white people will lose their numerical majority in this country, and this will no longer be a white man's land. Now, I'm not misrepresenting this. I'm telling you almost exactly what he says. He says there are three things we can do to solve this. Number one, we could pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants that are allowed into this country every year. Then once again he says, unfortunately, the vast majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. The third thing he says, and women had better pay attention to this, 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Does that sound like racism to you?
Can you talk a little bit about the trauma associated with?
The trauma associated with it?
Yeah.
One of the main traumas is it tells white people that they are superior because of the lack of melanin in their skin. And then they find out suddenly that we've got a black president. That's traumatic. That's where the trauma is. Living a lie, finding out the truth, is traumatic. Finding out now, recently, that within 30 years, white people will be in the numerical minority in this country is going to be traumatic. White people are scared to death right now, particularly white males. They're scared to death that they are going to lose their power in the future. And they are. But if you want to get ready for the future, if you want to be treated well in the future, treat others well in the present. What we do in the present constructs the future.
But white women will say this to a black psychotherapist. I want to have a black baby.
Why? Why
I
do
say
they say
why? Because white people, if we look at the skin color white, white is the genetic inability to produce color. It is a genetic deficiency state. It is a form of albinism. It has never been discussed in this way, but genetically, biologically, this is what it is. White people they don't have the capacity to produce color. They wish they could. This is why they spend a lot of time sun tanning, makeup, all of that is trying to give color to colorless skins, okay? Now, because they have this deep psychological need, they are the only people in the world, they are the minority in the world who cannot produce color. And so they can't produce it, they can't make it on their own. They try to suntan, and then at the sexual level, they have attractions to people who can give them the illusion that they have participated in the production of color. So the white man has gone all over the entire world having sexual relations with every group of non-white women that he meets. The white woman, when she has been allowed to, sexually aggresses towards men of color.
She is allowed to.
And so then she gives vent verbally to that fantasy. I want to have a product of color because this is the one thing that I can't do.
I've never done nothing to you, never. Sarah, you live your life, I'll live my life. I want nothing to do with this. That was your choice to marry him. You married him. It's done and over with.
Why can't you still be part of my life?
Because you made your choice. I made my choice.
What does my being with Tony have to do with us?
I don't want to hear it.
What does it have to do with us?
You married him. That's your choice.
But what's wrong with him?
My choice.
You've
my
never
choice?
met him.
Well, he's black.
Exactly.
And what's wrong with that, Sharon? What's wrong with him being black?
I believe, this is my belief. I don't care if anybody else here believes it or not. I believe white people should be married to white people. Black people should be married to black people. Chinese to Chinese, etc.
Sharon, you've never met the guy. You've never even said hello to him.
I don't want to.
I want you to meet my son.
I don't want to.
He's wonderful, Sharon. If we would just meet
Sarah,
him,
you
would
live
fall
your
in
life,
love with
I'll
him.
live my life. I don't bother you. I don't go out of my way. I don't
the
say
problem,
anything.
Sharon.
I live where I live, you live where you live, and everything will be just fine.
I don't see why this has to interfere with us. We were fine.
Hi. I think that I agree with his sister. I think that black.
You agree with Sharon?
Yes, I think that black people should stay with black people and whites stay with white.
That's
and
right.
if they're going to have anything, it's just the same issue. I think.
Now wait, you got to tell me why. Why do you think that?
Because see, my brother has a white wife too, and all they do is fight and argue and just. You really think that? I wanted my brother to marry a black girl. I really did, but now they're separated and.
And you think it's because she was white?
Yes, because he moved up into Vermont where she lives, and there's a lot of white people up there, and they just like all threw him away, pushed him out, and the family, none of them has nothing to do with him.
You think that might happen to you too?
No.
No.
We live in a white area,
He was living in the town before we got together, and everybody's fine with it.
All right, meet Adrienne. She says her brother Chad made the biggest mistake of his life when he married Jennifer, who's white.
If you're white and you're married to a black person married into your family, you recently had a mixed race grandbaby or a mixed race child, whatever. It's really important to understand that because we've been taught so much vile shit about black people, that just because you now have proximity to a black person or a mixed race person who's a member of your family who you love dearly, it doesn't mean that that automatically dissolved all of the biases and prejudices and really hateful things we've been taught about black people.
It doesn't mean that that automatically dissolved all of the biases and prejudices and really hateful things we've been taught about black people.
Just because if I'm a white woman and I marry a black man and I have a mixed race daughter, just because she came out of my JJ and I love her dearly, doesn't mean I can't inflict harm based on all the things I've been taught up until that point. So please unlearn and relearn.
Because white women have never had any power over men in their lives. Because obviously all the white men in their lives have always had all the power over them. So white women have whiteness over black men. And obviously to be in any sort of like control feels good, especially when you're used to never being in control. White women feel safe with black men, not only because of the hyper masculinity that they believe black men exhibit, but because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men.
But because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men.
This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men.
This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men.
And be like conservative white women will be like married to a black man. And this is why white women love their black sons and hate their black daughters. Black sons give you access to the patriarchy. They give you power, whereas black daughters don't.
Like, because of the scarcity. If you grow up as a white girl,
Yes.
and you get attention from black guys,
Yes.
in my experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status
We don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status
of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys,
No,
you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
as a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
As a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than the black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes. Now,
We would see it as
if a white girl gets attention from a white guy, that's more valuable in white culture than if she gets attention from a black guy. If she gets attention from a black guy, that doesn't make you a better, she's basically not good enough for the white, so she's good for the black guys. That's how it's looked at.
On a time, there were two black men, one named Telvin, the other one named Christian, both known for praising their snow queens while putting down black women in the process. Both slain by said snow queens, one with a bullet, the other with a knife. And once again, social media is split as to how to respond. Rest in peace, or you brought this on yourself. Now look, I don't have a problem with black men dating white women. I really don't. It's 2025, love is love, and as far as I'm concerned, swirl it up. What I will never understand, though, is why some black men feel the need to put down the black woman in the process. When in fact, did you not come from a black woman? In the eternal words of Tupac Shakur, got your name from a woman and your game from a woman. Once upon a time, there were two black men. One named Telvin, the other one named Christian. Both known for praising their snow queens while putting down black women in the process. Both slain by said snow queens, one with a bullet, the other with a knife. And once again, social media is split as to how to respond. Rest in peace, or you brought this on yourself. Now look, I don't have a problem with black men dating white women. I really don't. It's 2025, love is love, and as far as I'm concerned, swirl it up. What I will never understand, though, is why some black men feel the need to put down the black woman in the process. When in fact, did you not come from a black woman? In the eternal words of Tupac Shakur, got your name from a woman and your game from a woman. So why do we take from our women? Probably some internalized self-hate that we don't have time to unpack today, church. But back to our story. One claims that it was an accident. The other claims that it was self-defense. Now, are they telling the truth? Likely not. And it almost seems like a poetic tragedy when the thing that you prize above all others ends up doing you in the end. When they realize that with some tears, a concocted story, and a prejudicial legal system, they could probably get rid of you and get away with it.
Y'all, this video crazy as fuck. You see Shorty right here turning up, acting like she's shooting a Glock. Well, shortly after this video, when her and her boyfriend went home, she unalived him. I think her boyfriend is the one recording, and look how she look at him. This is the girl that was in that video turning up, doing a little like she had a Glock. And this is her boyfriend. Her name is Hannah Cobb. She's 28 years old. His name is Telvin Osborne, who was 30. So I don't know what happened at the club, but all I know is when they went home, she unalived them. So this happened in Burke County, Georgia on Sunday morning. She initially told the feds that they were drinking or whatever, and she went home to clean her Glock, and she accidentally shot him in the chest. So upon her cleaning the strap, she said it went off, firing, hitting him in the chest, and ultimately unalived him. So upon investigation, the feds was like, so you clinked the gun and it accidentally went off and hit him in the chest? How do that sound? Do you want me to believe that? I'm giving she was probably, I'm so sorry. You know how they do. But the feds wasn't buying it. They said, get your ass over here. They booked her on manslaughter charges. And as of right now, they still doing a further investigation on why this all went down. And I'm going to keep y'all updated. If you want to be updated, you already know what to do. Like this video, share this video, and make sure you follow.
Okay, so being married to a white woman for almost 4 years now, would you do it again?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh!
I'm being very honest with you. I think that there are some things that, honestly, as an Igbo man, that I would not have tried myself.
Yeah?
You're the only
It has been hard.
white person that I've ever dated. I think that with all of the challenges that I've encountered with an interracial marriage, I'm not willing to compromise my Nigerian culture for anyone. I don't think I would do that again for anyone else. That's just the honest truth.
So this is just a quick message to my people. Okay, you beautiful brown and so-called black people out there in the world all over. Did y'all know how special y'all are? Do y'all know how special you are to the Most High? Like, he said you are so special and that he loved you so much. He created you to be above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. If you don't believe me, open up your Bible and read it. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 says, thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above every other nation, every other people upon the face of the earth, you are above them. This is what the Most High declared in his word. God is not a man that he would lie. And this is what our people have to begin to understand. He said he loves you above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Why do you think they try so hard to keep us down, to keep us out, to keep us oppressed, to keep us separated, to keep us conflicting and fighting with one another, to keep us hating one another? Who done this? The so-called white man's done this and been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. In that precept specifically, it is declaring segregation. The Most High, when he created us, he always wanted us to be separate, especially from these Edomites, so-called white people. He always wanted us to be separated from them. Being intermingled and entertained with them, entangled with them, it's brought us nothing but bad. Think about it. Countless amount of times, it's brought us nothing but bad things. Go back. Think about our history. Since we came over here to America, and for the natives that are from this land, that are indigenous of America, here in America, this is your land. The moment that so-called white people came in contact with the natives, it's been nothing but bad. And this is what we have to understand, y'all. We have to separate from our enemy. We have to come back together with one another and begin to build each other up and begin to love each other, okay? And with that being said, you cannot do that with an enemy in between you and your people. When our people begin to wake up and actually grasp that concept, how powerful we would be as a nation of people. Right now, our nation, our people, and the majority of our people don't know who they are or where you come from, don't know your ancestors, your great-great-great-great-grandmother. You don't know. So you run to the so-called white man to get a DNA test just for them to give you a lie, to give you some sense of, oh my goodness, this is where I come from. That's a lie. We Israelites. We the children of Israel. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That so-called white man, that's a fraud. That's not who our Savior is. That's not the real. His name's not Jesus. He was a Hebrew man. Okay? And with that being said, he was very dark skinned. All the things that they so-called don't like about us, they copy. Make it make sense. If you don't like these big lips or this big nose, let them tell it. Or that nappy hair, let them tell it. But then you turn around and you copy it? Like, make it make sense. It's time for my people to wake up and realize how special you truly are. Know who you are. Remember who you are. And know that remember the power and the greatness that is within you. You have to separate from your enemies. Your enemies have pulled you down. And make no mistake, your enemies is so-called whites. The Bible tells us that. We was sold to our enemies. We was brought on ships and sold to our enemies. And no man has bought us. Look at history. That's why they can shoot our people down in the street and go off not guilty. That's why they can have a knee on the neck for 9, 10, however many minutes the officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck until he took his life. And now they ready to acquit him and let him out and go not guilty. The things that they do to us, shoot our sisters down in the street, pregnant, and go off not guilty. How they cheat us. In order for you to get a house loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. In order for you to get a car loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. Y'all, we have to wake up and separate from our enemy. I'm all for segregation because segregation is biblical. And these so-called whites, they know that and they understand it. That's why they cleave so tight to us, y'all. They don't like us, but yet they want to be just like us. And they just can't help themselves but to be up in our business. Honor the Most High, and He'll bless you. Shalom.